Hello, welcome to Rebel Reviews. My name is Scarlett. I'm a One Rebel trainer here, and today we are joined by the gorgeous Stacy, who's one of our members.
Hi, nice to meet you all, and excited to review this book.
So this is 10% Happier by Dan Harris. So we both had a little read of the book and also enjoyed the app as well. Do you want to talk what it's about?
Yeah, so this book is about Dan Harris's journey from a skeptic to a lover of meditation. It all started when he had a nervous breakdown on national TV, and from then he decided that he needed to figure out how to quiet the noise. So that's what he did through this book. He mixed science and spiritualism to teach us all about meditation, and I found it really helpful.
Yeah, I found it helpful too. I think because he was so almost like not keen on meditation, it was insightful to get that insider for someone who wasn't up for it. Whereas initially I thought it was going to be like a step-by-step guide to meditation,
100%.
but it wasn't at all. So it was good for anyone who maybe isn't sure about meditation and who wants to give it a go.
I really enjoyed, I think the concepts that I enjoyed the most from the book was one about negative thinking. So about how to really like quiet the noise with negative thinking and really give yourself compassion when it comes to negative thinking, which I think is something you should definitely read more about in the book. And two, also about ego. So he spoke a lot about ego and how like ego powers certain things that you want, and actually because of the thought process of ego, you actually end up not ever feeling satisfied. And I think I identified with that because I'm somebody who's always like driven and always looking to achieve something, and you never quite feel satisfied. So he spoke again about like compassion, having compassion with yourself when it comes to ego, which I think, and also just getting a grip of ego and not letting it overtake you and overcome you, which I really enjoyed as well.
Yeah, definitely. I found it interesting at the start when he does go through that breakdown.
Yeah.
And in my head I was like, why does it take like a breakdown or burnout? Why does it take that for you then to be like, oh, I need help?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like proactiveness, but by reading the book or by doing the app to actually really sit and listen to your thoughts. One of the meditations that I did on the app was all about your future self.
Yeah.
So like visualizing the person that you want to be, thinking about what you are doing now that is going to make you the future version of yourself. What are you not doing that is, not helping you be the future version of yourself?
Yeah.
And I find that really interesting and how it like guides you through that. And I think that's a really good starting point for anyone to give it a go. Even if you're not into meditation, you might actually be surprised by yourself. I was, I hadn't really practiced meditation until this book and the app, and I definitely continue.
100%. And I feel like the book is like a good baseline to kind of understand Dan's story and Dan's journey. And then the app is almost like you starting on your journey and your story, which I found really helpful. It had a lot of like expert guidance as well. Like for me, one thing that I'm really focusing on at the moment is like healthy eating, and it spoke a lot about like mindful eating. Like there's different topics that you can cover, which I really enjoyed, and the guided meditation as well, which was really cool. I know you spoke about the sleep one.
I done a sleep one. And I bookmarked it in the book, but it says different like categories that meditation can help you with, and I have ADHD, and one of the ones was ADHD, so I done the sleep one because usually at night my mind's like, you need to do this, you need to do this, and the sleep meditation, honestly, I've slept for like 100 hours. I feel so zen. And so definitely going to do a little sleep meditation from now on.
I love it. I feel like for me, meditation for me is at night as well, because one of the things that the app does is it gives you like different times that you can do your meditation, whether it's like morning, lunchtime, evening. And for me, I agree with you, it's definitely like in the evening when you're about to go to sleep and you think of all the millions of to-do lists and things that you need to do. And actually some of the meditations were really helpful in teaching you about thinking about gratitude and like, refocusing and recentering your day instead of just thinking about it in that negative light, which sometimes you can do when you've had a bad day.
Also think in London, especially like people in London, we're surrounded by noise. Like we're always rushing. We're always rushing to work, rushing to the gym. Like we're always on the go.
Yeah.
And I think meditation just allows you to just sit even for 5 minutes and just actually listen to your thoughts, like 100%. What you actually want and not what other people are forcing upon you. You can actually sit and be like, okay, how do I feel about this? How do I feel about that? And 100%. You kind of can't escape it. Whereas I think when you're a busy person, always on the go, it's easy just to be like, okay, I'll just park that and I'll deal with it another time. And then everything builds up and then you have a burnout or you have a mental breakdown and then you're like, oh, now I actually need to read this book and now I need to actually do meditation and get help.
100%. So, and even like thinking about, there's another concept I think that he spoke about, which was the waterfall method, which is like how to get behind the waterfall. If you think about a waterfall, how do you get behind that and actually focus your thoughts so that you can actually like reflect before you even speak and before you like even react to things. Instead of reacting, how do you just actually be really thoughtful and mindful about your actions, which I really found interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I loved it. So there was a part in the book where he goes on this retreat and it's like a silent retreat. And then when he comes back, he starts to tell all of his friends that he went on this retreat. And I think actually it's really interesting as a society, we always say, so I actually went on a retreat recently and I told my brother and he was like, oh, are you part of a cult now? And when I got to that point in the book as well, when he said, oh, my family was like, oh, are you part of a cult now? And oh, you're not one of them now, are you? And as a society, I think there is this stigma about meditation, 100%. About mindfulness, and actually it's like, don't knock it until you try it.
100%.
Like, you never know how it can help you.
One thing I would say about the book overall is that it's called 10% Happier because meditation is about making you 10% happier. It's not about solving the world. It's not gonna solve everything that you're dealing with, all your stresses and everything like that. It's just about how to make you incrementally happier, which I think is a good concept, especially for people who are skeptics. It's a good one to start with.
Definitely. I remember the quote actually. Someone said, oh, how do you feel? And he said, about 10% happier.
Yeah, exactly. And me and you, 10% plus 10%. 20%!
Do you want to talk about the app?
Yeah, so the app is really awesome. It has so many different tips and tricks and tools on it. There is expert guidance, there are podcasts, there are written guides, there's so much on it. It's around like, you get a 7-day trial and then it's like $89.99 for the year, which is okay. But if you think about it in terms of like days, like, you know, one of the big things about it is that you're meditating every single day. So actually it doesn't work out as that expensive. But how did you find the app?
Yeah, great. I loved it. Like I said, doing a lot of the sleep meditations, and they encourage you to do it like anywhere. So I was just saying that Dan, there's a photo of him in Times Square literally sat meditating on the steps and all the noise going on around him. And I think that is the thing, that people think that you need to be in a quiet space, zoning in on yourself, but actually you don't. You can do it on the go, walking, nighttime, wherever. Yeah, and I like that it had all the different categories. So if you want to focus and pinpoint on a particular thing that's going on in your life, that you can go and be like, right, I want to do this today.
100%.
Compared to like other apps that I've used previously, I thought it definitely was a lot better.
Yeah, 100%.
And more specific.
And I also feel like it meets you where you are in your journey with meditation. It's not trying to force you to do something really specific. It's more about like where you are in your journey, especially for the skeptics and people who are a bit scared about meditation. I think it's a really like accessible and easy app to use.
Especially you can try it and then just cancel
exactly. And if you are either like looking for like an alternative version, like where you don't have to pay for the app, again, you can listen to his podcast. In that, he talks about a lot of the different concepts that he has. He speaks with experts. And I think that's what's really cool about this, and what's different about this to other apps, is that there's a lot of expert guidance in there.
Rather than like one person.
Yeah, exactly. Rather than one person, or rather than like faceless people, there's like experts that, you know, he speaks about in his book, that have written their own books on meditation, who are also feeding into this app, which I think is really good.
Like famous people of the meditation world. And it has like little bios and everything as well on there, so you can like see their profiles as well, which is cool. I wish I started with the app and then read the book.
But I think I like that I got to understand Dan's journey. Especially like as somebody who's not someone who properly does meditation, it was really cool to like understand the baseline of like how much it can actually benefit you physically as a person. Like actually reduce your cortisol, like actually like reduce your stress, like actual physical things actually improve your life.
Live longer.
Yeah, live longer. Like
by doing meditation for like 5 minutes a day.
Yeah, this is it.
Crazy.
And if you're using the app to do that 5 minutes a day, you end up saving money if you buy it, because it's just like you're saving your life.
Yeah,
you're saving your life. So I don't think, I mean, have you done the meditations over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
I have, and I feel like I've seen like an improvement in how I manage stress and like manage, you know, different stressful situations. I feel like I'm managing it a lot better than I would have previously, and I think that will only improve with time and years. So because
it forces you to like really check in on your thoughts and feelings rather than just like saying or doing something.
100%.
And I'm a doer before I say something. This works on me.
And it also forces you to be compassionate with yourself. A lot of times, like, you know, especially people who are like part of like things like One Rebel, like we're go-getters, like we're like all chasing a goal, like we're all trying to be like really good, and sometimes it's just being compassionate with yourself and just realizing, you know, okay, I'm feeling this way and that's okay. Do you know what I mean? And like, let me just meditate and just chill out and zone out and accept this feeling, rather than try and have judgment and categorize this feeling. Like, this is a bad feeling, this is a good feeling. Like just accept it.
With it. But no, definitely would. I will continue using the app. Definitely.
100%. I'll continue using the app, and maybe I'll probably listen to the podcast as well, because I think the podcast that he has is really good.
I like a good podcast.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching. We hope that you really enjoyed our review. We'll pop all the details of the book and the app down below. And yeah, thanks guys. See you later.